Come unto me, and I will give you rest. That invitation hints at the heart of a deep, deep problem. Augustine, around 400, the Common Era, named the human condition so well at the beginning of his Confessions. Our hearts are restless until they rest in you. Restlessness. Unfortunately, in the last 1,600 plus years, we've done little to resolve the restlessness of our souls. With all of our technological advancements and modern analysis, there's so much anxious energy, restlessness, especially now. If we can do the miraculous and slow down our own restless energy long enough to really talk with another, or more importantly, to deeply listen to another, we'll quickly see and hear another's fatigue of soul, often coupled with the deepest kinds of longings. Today's invitation is enticing. Come unto me, and I will give you rest. Yes, please. And yet it isn't quite that simple. As we've heard in our gospel lesson today, before Jesus offered those inviting words of comfort, and before they can be received, some truth-telling is in order. To what can I compare this generation? Jesus asked. They're like children in the marketplace, he answered his own question. This generation is like those who sit on the side of life and play a song with the expectation that those who hear will respond in a certain way, that those who hear will fulfill a role that they've determined for them. And it's like those who wailed but didn't get the mourning response that they wanted from others. In our passage today, Jesus and John are out of sync with a restless generation. That shouldn't be much of a surprise. This section of Matthew's gospel is one that is marked by growing tension and dissonance between a religious system that put burdensome expectations on some and what Jesus was about. Jesus didn't play their tune. He did not fit their role. He was not willing to control or be controlled by any system that wearied the soul. No, he offered another way. Come unto me, and I will give you rest. Like Augustine sought, the weariness Jesus soothes is not just the sort of thing that comes after a hard day's work or what happens after you've missed sleep because the fireworks went a little too late last night. If you need that kind of rest, certainly get it. But Jesus offers us something deeper, rest for the soul, especially for the ones that have been under the heavy weight of a religious system that controls through compulsion, fear, distraction, and the sort of thing that mires its adherents in a kind of hopeless futility. A religious system that Jesus challenged because it was ill-suited to foster the kind of life with God that people need. Out of sync with a restless generation, Jesus offered another tune, another way, the rest that is the result of grace. Grace that's not based upon the social constructs that deem some as worthy and important and deserving, and others not so much. No, the rest that Jesus offers is the kind of gift revealed to the unsuspecting, those who are called unworthy, those who are deemed powerless. Come unto me, and I will give you rest. But before we can respond to that invitation, we ought to take stock. Are we weary in soul? Because we play a part in systems that seek to control. Are we the wise and the intelligent from our passage today who deserve the rest and therefore cannot receive it as gift? Or does our way of faith garner for ourselves and for others the kind of life God gives that leads to restful souls? It ought to be the latter. Why are we all so weary then? For indeed, Jesus invites us, come unto me, and I will give you rest. By placing a yoke upon your shoulders. Now that's an awfully surprising image for an invitation to freedom. After all, a yoke is an instrument of work, the kind of thing that keeps a work animal in line. It does its job by forcing subjection and bearing down and requiring obedience of the one that it is placed upon. And yet Jesus even reimagines this. My yoke is easy. One that is kind upon the shoulders. Which I don't know about you, but for me, my shoulders are one of the places where I carry my restlessness. But this yoke is light. As one scholar notes, it's light because it's not the sort of thing that Jesus imposes upon us and then drags us along by it. No, Jesus invites us to be yoked alongside him. Work with me, he invites. I will lighten the load on your shoulders because I'm carrying it with you. This brings us once more to the call that we often hear in this season of the church year and throughout our lives of faith. Let us walk with Jesus. Let us learn from him. Let us be apprentices of Jesus, joining him in the work that he is up to in the world. In the midst of anxious times, and we are certainly in the midst of anxious times, it can be easy to be distracted by things that are loud and shiny. We have a team here that bears responsibility for whatever I say from this place, our roundtable team. And as we considered this text, preparing for this moment, one of our roundtable members, Chris Crilly, noted something from her experience of leading lots and lots of people in trainings, and it's pertinent to how we hear this. It's this. We often can emulate those that we're in conversation with. If someone is loud, we might find ourselves responding with that same kind of energy, talking back to them, matching the energy that we're given. But when someone speaks softly, you might find yourself leaning in a little bit to hear better. You might slow down a bit to match that energy too. Jesus, the one who is gentle and humble, invites you today. Come unto me, and I will give you rest. Not a vacation with a momentary relief from life's challenges. No, something deeper than that. Rest for the soul. Paradoxically, the kind of thing we find when we are yoked to Jesus and join with him in doing his work. To be yoked to Jesus is to be part of God's long unfolding plan of bringing forth a kingdom of peace and love into this world. This is still the path to find rest for our souls. Unfortunately, though, we have a track record in church of missing the point. To be more like the children in that story, who expect something particular of people, to place them within boxes and roles that we have defined for them that do little more than keep people weary and dissatisfied. I don't want an amen at this point. You might have one, though. But we are still called to be part of the work of Jesus, to guide people to the rest and the freedom that he offers, the ones who will take on their shoulders the yoke that he gives. This call to rest has been a prophetic call to God's people all along. The prophet Isaiah proclaimed, God does not grow weary, and God uses the energy God has to renew God's people, promising that those who wait upon the Lord will renew their strength. They'll mount up with wings and they will soar like eagles. They will run and they won't grow weary. They will walk and they won't faint. The prophet Jeremiah adds to Isaiah's hopeful promise a sense of urgency to the call and a moment of decision. Jeremiah writes, "Stand at the crossroads and look, and ask for the ancient paths where the good way lies, and walk in it, and find rest for your souls." May we not be like Jerusalem in Jeremiah's time, who heard that powerful and that inviting invitation, and they said, "We will not walk in it." The prophet Jesus says, "Come unto me, and I will give you rest." May we leave behind all the ways that burden and that are heavy-handed, so that we again in our time can find the ancient path of rest. As we hear that gentle and kind voice calling us, perhaps we might be able to position ourselves so that we can receive the word. Maybe Jesus' invitation or another comforting word could become a mantra for you, something that you bring back to mind in the moments where it feels like the anxious energy is taking over. And all of us need people who can ground and center us. After all, Jesus said, "Come unto me, all you who are weary," not just one, but all. May we, in the unique ways that we are a community of United Methodists together, may we be a people in this place and in this time that make rest easy. That entails the hard work of noticing the areas of our church life that seem forced, coercive. Let's do something about that. And thanks be to God, the holy drunkard and glutton still sets a table for us and still invites us to join the party. Indeed, in a few moments, we will all be invited to this table, where we're called to get off our feet, to experience joy, and to find rest for our souls. Come unto me, Jesus says, and I will give you rest. Amen.